Come to order, please. Stand for the pledge. Yeah. Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Kemper.
Here.
Commissioner Williams.
Here.
Commissioner Lewis.
Here.
Commissioner Golden. Here. And Commissioner Buckler.
Here. Reports. Police, treasurer, code zoning, solicitor, engineer, manager, junior commissioner. I can start with the police. The chief was unable to be here tonight. He gave me the notes. During the month, the department responded to 865 calls for service, including public safety incidents, citizen requests, traffic matters, and all calls requiring a department response. And proactive patrols throughout the community. He additionally notes that a civil service test will be given August 22nd to establish a new list of eligibility for the police department. They get their civil service information. That was about that. You don't want that. Thank you. Couldn't sign.
Did it today, look late on the zoning, code enforcement's been going well.
Okay, fair enough.
Just a few citations that we've written lately. I haven't had to go to court, so that's great.
Okay. What was the zoning, Chuck? How much?
Zoning report,
Yeah.
that just that tallies the, all of the permits that were issued this month.
Okay.
There were maybe 9, and the value of the work being done and the value of the permit fees.
Yeah, Dale has it here. Very good. Thank you. Solicitors report.
Nothing exciting or report.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Good.
It's usually good.
Engineers report.
Yeah, my name is Ed Borley. I represent Urban Engineers. And
Is this fair to stand up at the mic, Ed,
absolutely,
so everybody can hear you better?
no problem at all. Evening. All right, how about now?
Better.
Fantastic, yeah. We've been working with Spencer for the past month. We assisted with the submission of the DCED grant application for Water Street Trail phases number 2 and 3. That project is between the Bell Street pedestrian bridge and East Lake Road for the, not only for the township, but we assisted Wesleyville in that also. And one of the items of discussion tonight is the lift station maintenance contract. So we helped with that in developing the request for proposals and the bidding documents for the lift station maintenance contract. We attended the pre-bid meeting on July 23rd, and Spencer and I opened up the bids on August 4th. And then what we're working on right now is we are developing a request for proposals for the CCTV camera inspection of the township sanitary sewer system.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Manager.
Yeah, I guess that's just me. Okay, just a few different things. You know, it's an agenda item tonight, but just want to talk a little bit about the Rankin Ave and Iroquois Ave traffic signal. You know, the project has taken much longer than I think anybody wanted. The signal was initially damaged after being struck by a semi last summer. The resulting insurance process that we had to go through continued into the winter, and the township ultimately received a reimbursement from our insurance of about $40,000. And that was based on a repair estimate that we had obtained in the summer of 25. Ultimately, because this issue wasn't really resolved till winter, we went out to bid once in spring, And when that came back, there was only one bid and it was approximately 4 times more than we had budgeted for. And so that bid was actually rejected. And then we went back out to bid again. And that is the process we just went through. And then you guys, the board has the two bidders here. Only mentioning it just because it, I know it's a big deal for a lot of people, and just want to let folks know partially why it took so long. Not for lack of trying. The next thing I want to talk about really quick, I've talked about before, is the street conversion. Penelec is going to convert all of the streetlights in the township to LED. Some folks already have LEDs and they're this like super bright light, and it's not great. It's like way too bright. So, during this replacement, Penelec has said that they're going to change those to a more appropriate orange that's a little less bright in residential areas, especially. That's not quite as important on, like East Lake Road, but obviously, somebody's right in front of somebody's house, you don't want a super bright white light. So that's happening. And then I do want to let folks know too about Erie Waterworks. Erie Waterworks told us that they didn't give us a specific date when it was going to start, but they let us know that there's going to be a project that they're doing to replace a whole bunch of lead pipes in the township. I was never sure when that project was going to start, but apparently I guess it might be today. Consul Construction started putting trucks. They're the ones that Erie Waterworks hired, and Consul has started putting equipment in the township. This is a project that I guess Erie Waterworks is doing everywhere. They got some state grants to replace lead pipes. So that is literally everything I know about it. But it seems like they are starting, if not literally today, super soon. That is news to me, and I wanted to share it with everybody else. And I think, I should talk about, unfortunately, folks might remember July 16th was supposed to be a concert in the park, and then July 18th was supposed to be a farmer's market. And those both ended up being canceled, basically because of the wildfire smoke. On Thursday, the 16th especially, Pennsylvania was code purple with, guidance advising residents not to go outside. Saturday ended up being really nice, which is frustrating. But, we listened to what the states told us and canceled accordingly just for, out of an abundance of caution. So we have another farmer's market coming up this Saturday. It'd be great if everybody attended. That's it for me.
Thank you. Now on to the big ones, the junior commissioner.
I just wanted to say that I think we're doing really good by engaging our youth. Like I saw on our Facebook page that we did like the color war, which I think was really good. I saw that at the farmers market we're having youth activities there. So I think that's also good. The farmers market gives adults an opportunity to go shopping and also gives kids an opportunity to be with their parents, but to have fun. So that's good. I think with school coming up, just to make sure that everything like is safe for the students, just that's really it. Keep an eye on speeding maybe, because people might speed just a little bit more like around the schooling area, and it might be a little more dangerous with students being there all the time now. But that's honestly it. I don't have much else to say.
Well said, thank you. And we'll make sure we pass it on to the chief, but I'm pretty sure he knows about the school zone. Okay. Then approval reports. Motion to accept all reports as submitted. I have a motion and a second.
I'll motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval of prior meeting minutes. Approve the meeting minutes of July 8th. The stated meeting and the special meeting on the 24th. I've looked at them. They appear in order. Does anybody have a comment about them? Vote.
I'll motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
We did skip item 6.
But I missed. That's important. We should do that. Motion to pay the bills for July 2026.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills. I'll second it.
Favor? Aye. Opposed? Sorry about that, Spencer. Public comment. Residents wishing to speak must sign in prior. I think we all know that by now. So who's first up? Richard Mosier.
Yes. Up here,
Yeah, it's easier to hear.
I'm here. I'm here because the park all the way around Smithson, Emmett,
Elbow tree.
Elbow Tree.
there you go.
Mhm.
The one is, I think they're just not looking at it right. You look at the lower part, the east part, it's really nice. And then you look at what's in front of that fella down the street is, you can't even get in there. I mean, really, go through, don't just stay on the road or the path. Step off of it. It's mud, it's water, you can't get around. It just doesn't make sense that anybody would argue over mowing this. And if they're not mowing it now, they're cutting it down. And it's going to be mowed and 2 times a year, which I think we had that for years, 2 times a year. They mowed those things. This guy is, I think he's a nice guy, but I think he's just not thinking right. So I would like you guys to go down and take a look at that and look at the north end, northeast end, and see what is done and compare it. It's just been too long before it's been mowed. And if we can keep it going and keep it mowing, I think that would be a nice thing.
When you say mud, Dick, you're talking about brush hogging it?
Right, no, at one time, the fire department set it on fire. It was a 2-day fire. And they burned all those leaves. Now, I tell you, those leaves can just take and eat everything up. So my theory is leave the damn leaves alone. You know, but it's really beautiful. When you get down there and look at it, you're going to be really impressed at how, and one guy did that. One guy did that.
I think we're pretty much all aware.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
Thanks, Dick.
Yep.
you.
Thank you.
Kim Marini?
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sure most of you guys know this is our 3rd meeting here regarding the issues with our sewer. For everybody who doesn't know what's going on, in October, the storm drains were clogged, which caused a backup into the sewers, which caused major backup into Cousins, Dabrowski's, and other businesses on Main Street. We did suffer significant losses, ours being the most at 16,000. Joyce at 7,000. Okay. I'm here again tonight to ask, what are your intentions to help us in regards to the damage caused by your sewers? Is everybody aware of what happened in October and happened in June? We did everything we had to give information to the township. The township told us we need to go to your insurance company and make the claim. Why? Isn't that the township's job? Why would I have to be that person? But we did it. We did what they asked. And we've been denied repeatedly. You have told us reapply. We did, denied.
I'll have to give that one to Liddy, I believe, because I saw a pre-litigation notice.
Yeah, we did receive a pre-litigation notice concerning this, and we're not providing any public comment relative to this.
We gave you pre-litigation, but we don't want to have to go to.
I understand that, but to the extent you've already indicated that you're potentially considering litigation, we're not going to publicly comment on this at a public meeting. Happy
Can we-
to discuss with counsel if you have counsel, or if you prefer
Do
to.
you want it? Is that what the township wishes us to do, to cause more cost to the township when you're gonna have to litigate this with us? Instead of just accepting
Again,
that you are,
we are not going to
responsible.
comment relative to whether or not we're at fault for the issues. Again, you
Okay.
indicated that there's the potential for litigation, and we will not comment that.
okay? Can you explain to me why we had to submit our own claims to an insurance company and the township wouldn't do that?
When you have damage, you would submit as a motor vehicle accident to the person who you allege caused the damage. And so you would have submitted your claim to carrier. We've submitted to the
How
carrier.
can the city of Erie and Wesleyville, they do that? Why is it that Lawrence Park makes us do it?
Each municipality is different.
Okay, I accept that. Next. What is the outcome of the investigation into Sarah Trojak and her slander against us?
We do not comment on personnel matters at public meetings.
Wow. And I don't know if everybody's aware of that. After our second issue with the sewers, Sarah Trojak, who's an employee of the township, called the health department and intentionally lied to them and accused us and said we were dumping grease down our drains. We were not. The health department came out and cleared us. What she did was slander. How she can still be employed in this township when you have some, I mean, who knew about that? Did you know, Spencer?
Again, we're not going to comment on personnel matters.
When are you going to tell us what is going on and it involves us? She's opened herself and the township up again to litigation. So this is anything that. Let's go on to the third one. Did everybody see the tape of what happened last month outside the meeting? Nobody knows about it? Anybody? Sarah Trojak.
Aware of it, I didn't see it.
Okay, you should probably look at it. It was very aggressive. Sarah Trojak messaged her parents' friends, and her spouse, and they all showed up here. When we left the building, we were basically, for lack of a better word, attacked. You need to look at that video of her father coming down that walkway after us. Her mother, two friends. It was very aggressive, extremely aggressive. So we can't speak freely. That's what we're taking from this. Because I spoke out against her. She retaliates again, like she did with us at the health department, by calling her family to come here.
My understanding from the police department, there is an ongoing investigation into that, and we again, don't comment.
I'm afraid to walk out here tonight.
We do have a police officer present, and there was a police.
There were two
officer
police
present.
officers present last time. Nothing happened.
Well, we'll make sure that.
I'm sorry, sir, you really need to look at that video. It was extremely aggressive.
Well, I'm not disputing anything, and like Lydia said, there's a police investigation as far as that goes.
Because I'm at the point where I do not feel safe and I'm gonna probably have to go for a PFA,
For what?
a protection from abuse. And that because I do not feel safe. Because we should be able to come here and speak freely about incident. She wasn't attacked. We didn't aggressively go after her or anything. We just spoke the truth. And I do believe that you guys did investigate that and you know that she actually said that. But right away, she calls her family. Is that so people are not going to be allowed to speak freely here in fear of retaliation?
No.
I would hope not. We love this community. We've been here for 14 years. We are so upset and disappointed over what is blatantly the township's fault to help us. It's very upsetting. I don't know if $16,000 isn't a lot to you or $7,600 isn't a lot to you, but for a small business in this town, it's a lot of money. And that money then, no donations to anything. That's why we have to be able to keep our business open. And if this keeps happening, what happens in the rain on Sunday? Are the sewers gonna get overflow again? I'll have to replace another hot water tank, another furnace, $10,000 in product? We can't keep doing that. Anybody have anything to say?
I mean, I'm gonna comment on that part. Maybe I shouldn't, but, I will. So, yeah, we've hired some new people, and actually on the agenda tonight is a discussion about potentially having, outside assistance for our sewer system.
For why?
To make sure that it's, well,
Said, thank you for stopping him before he actually spoke the truth.
No,
Yes, that's exactly what you just did. Thank you.
Thank you. Rick Garland.
I originally was gonna speak about the traffic light, but I see it's being addressed.
It is.
So I just wanna back up Dick Mosier. I think it looks great. When I was a kid, going back to 1963, and so when we moved into township, you could see from the church down to Dick's house, through the woods. You could see from Rankin to Smithson. I think it looks great.
Yeah, but it's brush hog, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I just,
Yeah,
and even now, since they brush hogged it, it's already jumped a foot.
yeah, it's gonna take more than one shot.
No, that's not what I'm saying. So people who wanna see green
Oh, I got
vegetation,
you.
you're gonna see it. It's gonna come back. But we don't need a jungle. We want a nice woods with big hardwoods, pine trees,
Well, it is a park, not a
Plus-
nature preserve.
Plus I had a nephew that lived at 659 Smithson. And him and Mr. Weissmiller, one of the Weissmiller boys, used to play in it all the time.
Yeah,
He did poison ivy 2-3 times a year.
that and poison oak.
Yeah. Thank you. I think it looks great.
Okay. Ed already spoke. Okay, that leaves Barbara Mankowski, is that what I'm reading?
Close enough.
I know a handful of you, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm Barbara Mankowski. Yeah, Norman Mankowski, depends on who I talk to, that's what I go by. I'm going to, if it's okay with you, read, because if I don't, I will go off in 5 other directions and I'll never get my point across. So forgive me for not making all the eye contact that I should. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. One moment when I get my eyes. I also just want to touch about the incident that occurred outside the building following the last meeting. It was extremely concerning to see 4 adults aggressively approach the community members who had spoken during that meeting. And one individual was so brazen that he actually threatened to kick another citizen's ass. That type of behavior is intimidation, it's retaliation, it's extremely concerning. Attendance at our meetings are already far too low. And in my opinion, behavior like this is only going to discourage more members from coming and speaking their minds and participating in our community. I appreciate the fact that Chief Morrell and Officer Lappin were at the doorway and they did witness what was happening. However, I was a little disappointed that nothing appeared to be done to address the behavior of those who were being aggressive. Now, I did hear you mention that it was being investigated. So I am happy to hear that. Lawrence Park is not the same community that many of us remember from 30 plus years ago. People don't necessarily know their neighbors the way they once did, and unfortunately, people can be far more unpredictable than they have been in the past. And that makes it even more important that our public meetings remain places where residents feel safe expressing their opinions without fear or confrontation or retaliation afterwards. We may not always agree with one another, and that's okay. Disagreements are part of living in a community and participating in a local government. But disagreement should never turn into threats, intimidation, or bullying. I would also like to address what I found to be unprofessional conduct by Commissioner Lewis at this same meeting. During Mr. McMillan's allotted time to speak, you said to your colleague, and I quote, "You're an asshole, always been an asshole, will always be an asshole." Now, regardless of personal disagreements or frustrations, I don't believe that that language is appropriate during any public meeting, particularly from somebody in an elected position. Now, the people sitting in this room are watching how you guys conduct yourselves, and you should be setting an example for this community, not contributing to hostility or division. I am asking everyone involved, residents, officials, law enforcement, do better. We can disagree without being disrespectful, we can be passionate without being threatening, and we can hold different opinions without attacking one another personally. Our community deserves better than intimidation, bullying, and hostility. It deserves a government where residents feel comfortable showing up, speaking out, and knowing they're going to be treated with respect. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That's it of the sign-ups. Anybody want to, we'll let you make a comment now. If anybody heard something they want to comment on quickly, briefly. Okay. Go. Old business. Consideration of a contract with Whitetail Security for a building access project in the amount of $8,625, which 90% is to be funded by a STEMP grant, leaving the township share at roughly $860.
Yeah, so STAMP grant is just the strategic management plan. So essentially the state comes in through DCD and they tell us things we should do. They give us like a whole list of different projects that the township should consider doing. And if we can only do like 2 at a time. There's weird limits on it, but you know, we take some of those projects and essentially they fund it 90%. This is for this part of it. So we actually applied for far more money than this. This is just one part. We're doing approximately, it's closer to $90,000 in projects. This is just one of them that's going to be funded by this grant. And this particular one's for like new door pads and security doors. You know, we have a judge's office and, you know, we're trying to look for new tenants. And right now those keypads on a lot of the doors just don't work. And this was the best quote we got.
I see no reason we shouldn't do that. Go to get a motion to approve.
I'll motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed. The determination for the traffic signal at Iroquois and Rankin. RIC Electric came in at 55,000. Beacon Power came in at 81,750. Consideration of an award to the lowest bidder, obviously. I believe it's something got done, should have been done. So I would ask a motion to approve Spencer to go ahead and make the necessary arrangements and pay RCI $55,000.
I will make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This is another bid determination regarding lift station and sewer maintenance services for the entire township. We put it out to bid, received one single bid from Spader Construction at a base cost of $190,495 in the first year, with subsequent escalations of 3% per year. This would include the sewer lines, the lift stations, inspection, maintenance, alarm, emergency pumping, and investigation and removal of blockages and obstructions from the sewer system.
I'll make a motion to accept that.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Consideration of a new lease with the county for the office of the magistrate district judge. 3-year agreement at $39,825 per year with a 3% increase annually. I believe that is a little, some of a raise from last.
Yeah, the county be paying a little bit more than they have in the past. You know, the lease also defines the space and, you know, who the tenant space versus the township space, because there's been conversations about what's what. And, yeah, it's
Gonna be clarified. We need to test it.
Yeah, otherwise pretty standard agreement.
All right. All in favor? Could I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye, all opposed. Consideration of a legal service agreement with the attorney who will conduct the closing for the USDA loan financing for the construction of the Sudan lift station. Anybody want to explain that any further?
Certainly. So as part of this is going back many years, I think 2019, when this all happened, the township was approved for a USDA loan relative to the Sudan lift station. I think it covers the amount of Northwest, I think.
Yeah, so Northwest is like a bridge, yeah, it's like a
Bridge loan. But so back when this was all done in 2019, there was a different bond counsel in place to help do all of this work. He has since retired. And so the ordinance that we approved last month and all of that is being compared by one of my partners, Jay Alberstadt. He did the Northwest Bank loans, and he's very familiar with this project. This is just part of the USDA process. They just have to have a legal services agreement in place. So we already had one in place with the old guy, but he's retired, and so Jay's just stepping in. So.
Seems simple enough. Better get a motion to agree to have the attorney conduct the closing on the loan financing.
Make a motion.
Second,
Seconded.
all in favor? Aye, opposed. New business. Consideration of the retroactive hiring of 2 members of the Public Works Department. Stanley Cartwright is legal employee, effective 8/10/26, and Zachary Johnson is the Public Works Operator, effective 8/4/26. Bill, do you have any comment on that? I was not aware of this. I unfortunately missed the one meeting.
Yeah, I would make a motion. I mean, that
Yeah, if that works for you.
I've been working with the employees. They are enthusiastic about what they're doing, and so far they've been doing an excellent job, even though it's new.
Yeah, I at one point not been in favor of 2 employees, 2 new employees, as opposed to 1. But I talked to Spencer today and I just heard Dale. My concern was the tax dollar, how much it's gonna cost us, and is it gonna cost any of this gonna cause a tax increase of 27? I was hoping after the 5.8 last year that we'd be able to hold the tax increase to near 0 or very close. As of course, things could change. I'm aware of that. But right now, do we have the funds to keep the township running into 27 without a big increase?
Correct, yeah. No, there's no, we had budgeted for, so this brings us up to 3 full-time employees. That's what we had originally budgeted for. We had gotten all the way down to 1 full-time employee. It should be no impact to the budget, and this issue would not carry any kind of.
Not gonna put us in a hole going forward. Very good.
Why do you want to hire full-time? Why don't you hire like 6 part-time, then you don't have to pay benefits out to them. Then you don't have to pay overtime either.
If you want, I mean, I can comment on that just a little bit. And it is only my experience. We put out an ad for part-time people. I just couldn't find anybody that was interested. It's not, we do have a few. There's a few part-timers that help out with like mowing lawns and weed whacking and doing snow plowing and stuff like that. But it's a pretty sparse field. There's just not a whole lot of folks that are interested in doing that. Most of our guys that are part-time are retired, and they're just doing this as a sort of a second job.
That would be awesome.
But honestly, if you know anybody that's interested in something like that, you can send them my way. We always need people.
Nobody wants to work.
I will comment on the fact that with some of the full-time employees, the extent of the duties that they're required to do and the knowledge that they need versus what may be available for part-time workers, there's a big difference there.
Like these 2 guys, what's their background, what's their education, what's their experience?
I'd actually be very happy to talk about that. We interviewed 62 people. Well, we reviewed 62 applications. It was much more than I expected. Some of them weren't super sincere, but most of them were, legitimate applications. We ended up interviewing about 9 people. These two particular guys, one of them has been in municipal public works settings for the past like 16 years or so. He was in the Army before that. He's very knowledgeable in all public works operations. He's super well versed. I've been very impressed. He's been here for 3 days and he started taking inventory of our systems and sort of analyzing what needs repaired. And it's been good. It's only been a couple of days. The other gentleman, he was a mechanic at one of our local universities. And prior to being a mechanic was at Mill Creek Public Works. And then before Mill Creek, he was a mechanic again. One of the things we need is a mechanic on staff. That saves us a ton of money just because, we always, almost all the time have to do like small engine repairs and medium-sized engine repairs, stuff like that. And then, all the other stuff mechanics do. I'm not a mechanic. So, but it is something that has been nice in the past to have on staff. So those are them. Right.
So could I get a motion to hire Stanley Cartwright as lead and Zachary Johnson as public works operator? Could I have a motion?
I will make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? B, consideration of the promotion of Officer Evan Lewis from Class D to Class C effective 8/12/2026. This is normal. It's normal chain of events for people, and then it helps retain employees. Been done for many, many years. Could I get a motion to approve moving Officer Lewis from Class D to Class C patrolman?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consideration of a salary adjustment for Township Treasurer, Hill Chadsey, the rate of 24.08 per hour.
I'm happy to talk about that too. Kayla is doing just a ton of stuff in our office that she was not hired to do. She was initially hired to serve in one very specific role, and it's just taking on additional responsibilities as those responsibilities have grown, including being appointed the township treasurer. That was not something she was initially hired to do. And in addition to that, has been, appointed the alternate right to know officer, which was again, something she was never hired to do. She just passed her 1 year mark with the township. We did a performance review. We talked. She's been performing extremely well, really at a really high level, much better than I had, really could have anticipated. So I think this is appropriate. I do not remember the exact percentage of a raise. It is a little higher. It's maybe 12%-ish. I don't have it off the top of my head, but again, that really is down to the increased responsibilities that she's taken on.
Okay. And she's your main clerk as well as the treasurer.
Yeah.
All in favor of approving the rate of 24.08 per hour for treasurer and secretary Helen Chadsey? Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Possible action regarding repair or replacement of the building facade. Fares are as little as $3,200. However, 3 contracting firms advise the problem will reoccur and provided quotes for the entire project. The lowest quote was $28,900. It would exceed the formal bidding threshold and require competitive bids. That's obviously from Spencer. I wasn't aware, I guess a piece of the place fell off
Yeah.
in front of the doors or something?
Yeah. Big square of the stucco facade fell off in one of the windstorms. To do a straight repair, that was the lowest quote I was able to get at $3,200. three separate contractors all said to me that, you know, this whole thing should be replaced. It's an old style of stucco that retains water behind it. It's just a recommendation. I'm far away from an expert on stucco and stucco installation. So, that is just what have been made to understand.
I know there was some discussion during the work session prior to the meeting. Is this something we want to look at and investigate further before we make a move? Is it a safety issue?
And the other thing too is, I should just say, every quote was over the bidding threshold. So if we do end up having to go to bid, there is more time. I guess what I'm saying is, if you guys want me to look into this more in some way or call some additional contractors, I'm happy to do whatever you like. Whatever you think.
Well, I certainly don't know construction, but
Fix the issue as soon as possible and then maybe put it out for bid so we can budget for the repair at a later date before it becomes a huge issue.
I mean, I can.
can we move that to item for the agenda for next month?
Like putting it out to bid?
Well, whatever's the proper procedure, I guess.
Well, if we want to do sort of the small repair that just fixes the square, that lowest quote came in at $3,200 and you all would be able to authorize that now. If you would like me to look into bidding out a full replacement later, I can do that. You can do the small repair now and we could bid it out at a later date. Any combination of those things.
Go ahead, Rick.
That's a question. How would it be repaired? Same thing, stucco or?
I genuinely, I don't know. The contractors explained this to me, but I don't understand it. So it has something to do with the current stucco installation. They put some kind of like a foam backing behind it, and that's as much as I.
Well, no, what I'm asking, what the board would be seeking as far as bids, are you gonna repair it the same way, or are you gonna have a metal face put on it?
I can speak to that. Every contractor that we do stuff again, they have an entirely new way of installing it, so it doesn't trap moisture. And none of them were willing to do it the same way it had been done previously. They all said that is not, that's just not how it's done anymore. So, but like I said, certainly not an expert on this.
So whatever, if we have any discussion, any input from somebody other than put it on the agenda, or do we?
If it's falling apart now, it's not gonna get any better. But we still need to repair it before it gets worse over the winter.
So you're saying you're not in favor of doing the smaller repair now?
I think maybe doing a smaller repair now is a good idea. It might not look as pretty like you were talking about, but maybe making sure that that whole facade can be replaced because it looks like it will deteriorate more before it gets a huge problem. Now it's an item that we can discuss and put out to bid.
I'm leaning towards what Doug said, fix it now, just to get through, and then we can budget for next year. The overall
And
repairs.
that would eliminate a safety. Oh, I'm concerned about a safety
Take care
issue.
of safety.
Falling
Someone
further.
doesn't get hit.
So
Yeah.
that would be the quickest, fastest, and
Yeah,
easiest way.
the way they explained it to me is they thought that approach would last us at least a couple of years. So,
Okay, sir.
All right. Well,
Yeah, that answers my question.
so,
I don't
I
know.
can't imagine any contractor coming in and replacing that before winter gets to the
Now,
bid process.
my suggestion, like I talked with, you a little while ago, is go with the temporary repair, and in the meantime, I could bring the contractor in, he could explain everything to us. And I believe we have samples of what,
one of the contractors.
One of the
left
contractors.
like a whole sample thing in my
what it
office.
looked like. But I think we would need and appreciate more education on this and exactly what is gonna do. And like I said, I think this contributed to the moisture problem that we did have in the front foyer there. And we had to be repaired anyways.
So I guess I'm just trying to, clarify what you guys are all saying. So I guess the motion that you're looking to make potentially is to do the small repair now, call in the contractor to educate the board in September, and then bid it out.
Yeah, and I think, I don't want to see us wait too long and the weather goes bad on us. So I personally think the 3,200 is the way to go at this point.
Yep, sure. Okay.
Could I get a motion to approve the repair for the $3,200?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Regarding the maintenance of Elbow Tree Park, including the options to continue undergrowth clearing, discontinue the operation, or engage an arborist to inform future decisions. We've heard it from a couple people. I see, as long as I've been here, which is over 15, it's been brush hog. And the brush kept down, and there was a pathway going way back where the police could drive the patrol car on a horizontal angle through there, because we get complaints obviously about kids doing noise, whatever they were doing in there. And it made it safer, I think, for them, not knowing any better, and for the residents. And I know the place is loaded with poison oak, poison ivy. I'm not saying we should cut a tree down right now, but I don't think I need an arborist to tell me it needs brush hog.
Yeah, and I mean, just from my point, whatever, you guys want to do, whatever the board wants to do, I have no problem facilitating, just so everybody knows what happened here. We did clear the northeast corner. The reason we did that is for all the reasons you're saying. It was a historical practice. We only stopped doing it about 4 years ago. Just that was it. There was no sort of, there are some folks that don't want to see that happen. And then some folks, like we heard tonight, that do want to see that continue. And so, I wanted to bring it to all of your attention so you could evaluate.
Like I said, it's not a wildlife preserve, the township park. If we do something with it, then it becomes pretty much useless.
You're opening it up for invasive species and
That are there.
Look at some of the bigger trees that are already there.
Yeah.
I know some of the residents have talked about that, come up to me and talk about it. Pollinator gardens are pretty easy to put in, and I'm sure that we could probably talk with somebody about that at a later date coming in the spring. So we do want to brush hog it. We do want to put some flowers in there or something else that's gonna maintain or prevent soil erosion and help out some of the trees and whatnot.
Well put.
Might be a better option.
So let the motion be that we continue to do the brush hog and clearing of Elbow Tree Park to the best of our abilities.
A motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Here's none. Number F.
I apologize. I have to run. I have an appointment tonight.
Go ahead.
So I gotta go. I do apologize.
Well, I think we can finish without.
Yeah.
We're not done.
Lydia will shut my computer down. So, thank you.
Okay, no problem. This is discussion regarding a resident's proposal seeking to address stray and feral cats in the township.
I can proceed to that, Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah, last week, the planning commission got together and a couple of the members at an exorbitant rate. And so I guess we have nothing officially on record to make that illegal or to at least consider changing what we're doing, because two people approached me and said, my yard's overrun with cats. He goes out to his garage and there's nothing but cats hanging out there. Of course, they all scatter, once they open the door. So they wanted to know if we could propose to the board just to have some discussion if we feel the need to come up with, an ordinance to try to help control this.
I know this come up 20-some years ago. And obviously dogs are licensed and domesticated. We could deal with dogs. We got ordinances. Checked with the solicitor at that time was, from Northeast. I can't remember his name.
Bob Jeffrey.
Bob Jeffries. And he said, yeah, it's a homeowner's issue. That sounds a little harsh, but I don't know. I'd like to get rid of a few myself, but I don't know that the board, I don't think the police can be used in that distinction. Maybe, I don't know if the individual that's really bothered, I don't know if through Anna or somebody could direct them and take them to the Anna shelter. I don't know.
Well, they're claiming they're kind of overwhelmed at this point.
Yeah, I don't.
But that is the normal course of action. You know?
Yeah, I don't have any answer for that one. I go back to what happened years ago that we didn't have, we can make all the ordinance in the world, but I don't know how you drop gas.
Right.
Yeah, how do you enforce it?
Yeah.
I don't see it possible.
How are you gonna win in court?
No,
Right.
not. Whose cat is it?
Exactly.
So I don't know.
Can't we work with one of the local trap and release?
Pardon me?
Can't we work with one of the local trap and release to at least cut back on the reproducing? I know there's a lady in Wesleyville that works with a program, I think it's just called Trap and Release. And they.
With cats?
Yeah, they fix them. They do release them back into the community, but it will cut back on the amount of reproducing that we have going on until, at least you can get a handle on.
Who does the, whatever surgery or whatever option that to make
Her name is.
who neuters them?
Sorry.
Who would neuter, you're saying they trap?
They take,
spay or whatever.
yeah, they take them to whatever, I don't know, specifically what veterinarian they use, but I know that they have, some kind of an agreement and they're funded with grants and donations. And so would it be possible maybe for the township to help them out with, I don't know what the cost is or anything like that. I just know that I've seen her name, of all across like the Lawrence Park page where people are talking about, what do we do with these stray cats? I know, lots of people complain about them and they are a nuisance. I get it. And she's like, we can only handle so many a month because of the funding.
Right.
But that is their first attack, that they take them in and they spay and neuter them so they can't reproduce. And then you can work on, because she said it's not healthy and if you move them out of the community, you're just gonna get new ones in.
Agreed.
And it's gonna continue. So I don't, just as an idea, maybe reach out to one of those organizations and maybe with a little bit of a donation from, I don't know, the residents of that area or our township itself, maybe they could do more than, 3, 4, I don't know, maybe they do a month, but, maybe they'd be able to handle more to spay and neuter and then, build on that.
There's a problem with that approach though, because then you're asking the township to put those traps, pay for it at certain residents.
Well, no, I think they put the traps.
Yeah.
They put them,
Well,
they come and get them.
The
but they
township would
need
be
a
giving the
donation.
money for it, and then we would have to pick and choose what site that we put it at, as opposed to like maybe just an Elbow Tree Park as that example, because that's a public land. It would be real difficult for the board to probably pick a house and say this one, this one, and this one to get rid of cats, when it should probably be on the homeowners as far as that goes. I'm sure they are a problem, and I see it in my backyard too. They keep the rabbits out of my garden, so I don't mind it too much.
But what if it was maybe since you can't pick and choose a certain resident's home, what if it's just an area? A spot in an alley or a park or, what I mean, then you're not, somebody's not gonna be able to say, well, you chose them because that's your friend, or, what I mean?
Yeah.
So what if it was a more of a public spot and then, they, you're not in control of where they set it, maybe if you tell them, well, pick and choose, here's our problem areas. So on a map or however.
You're saying, Barb, they do that in Westerville now?
The lady, yeah, they do it all over, but the lady that I went to high school with her, and I apologize, I can't remember her married name, but her first name is Robin. And she works with, and I think they're just called Trap and Release. But I know there's more than one, but I know hers because I know her. And they do it, and she says they're very successful.
Is the, what's the
Giving
goal
advice.
to the supervisor or the mayor, whatever, are they aware, are they part of this?
Paul, that I can't answer to, I don't really know, I mean, I don't think it's a secret. If-
Yeah, I just wondered, did they back?
Well, I mean, what they're trying to do is get a handle on how fast these cats grow in these communities, because it's quick. Now, I don't, like where I live, I don't see, in Lake Liv, we're pretty good. But I know here in town, closer in the alleys, I own a house on Main Street, and if I go over there, I see, yeah, and you can't help but, your heart just, it breaks, but I see one or two. But I've heard other people say, no, there's 10, 15, they're like, I don't know, colonies,
Why don't I take this up with the planning commission?
I just gonna say, Tom,
Yeah.
you're aware, when you take with the planning commission,
We'll research.
they then can either reach out to Wesley,
Yes.
to this person.
Robin, I will get you her last name.
Okay,
They were here 2 years ago. They talked. Do you recall
Oh.
that?
Oh, okay, so.
okay. Yeah, we'll pursue this
We'll work on it.
because they're very motivated to get something going and that sounds like a better course of action.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it legal to feed them? Do we have an ordinance against feeding?
No, we don't.
No, and
As
I
long as
don't,
if you don't stop feeding them, they'll never go away.
Right.
well,
Well, they're gonna
how you gonna enforce that one?
Yeah,
I mean,
somebody say that your plate was out there, dog.
Find everybody with a Subaru, because that's a cat.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Well, I'm glad I don't.
You've been helpful. Let's move on.
Yes.
We'll let you look into that.
I will.
found her.
Oh, cool.
I'm sorry. And, anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
All right.
her name is Robin Boyd.
All right.
What was the name of it?
Fix Erie TNR is what she said the business was called. That would help in spay and neuter.
Oh, well.
Thank you.
There's most of them.
Okay,
so
thanks.
Facebook called that, right?
Yeah, the Lawrence Park
Okay.
Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So
All
maybe
right.
getting both of them to work together, maybe it'll.
We'll check on it, but surely take concern. Finally, discussion regarding ordinance proposed by Iroquois School District to address parking issues during elementary school arrival and dismissal. If you ever gone across Morris at dismissal, it's a bottleneck.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I wish John was here. I don't know if he's spoken with the superintendent.
The school district is who proposed this, and Spencer sent me all of the details and information.
Okay, go ahead.
And this is just letting you all know that it's coming. It was just, we need sufficient time to advertise the ordinance is gonna happen, so that, we can get in favor. But this would be just a restricted parking time frame, just in the morning for drop off and then pick up as well. But there would be no parking on the street during those time frames.
Certain
Just between certain hours. I don't remember what the specific timeframes are, but it's also only in a restricted area. So it would just, there would be
Friday,
signs,
obviously.
Monday through Friday during the school year. And there would be signs that would be erected that would indicate no parking on X, Y, and Z days and times.
It is a mess.
Just because it presents a problem, so.
All right.
That'll be in order for consideration. I believe that there will be a special meeting for that, just because it needs to get adopted
Quickly.
sufficiently before the school starts, so.
Fair enough. We don't need to do anything more than that tonight, then.
No.
Thank you. I think I got them all.
And there is no need for an executive session tonight.
Could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
All in favor? Aye. Motion. 6:58.